What's up, SE Nation? Welcome back to another video. Thank you for being here. And in case you don't know me, I help sales engineers, whether aspiring sales engineers or current sales engineers. One of the things that most people are lacking is listening skills. So I wanted to give 7 quick tips on how we can practice and get better at active listening. And let me see, it's actually 8 tips on how you can get better at active listening. And this is going to be a short video, so if you want me to dig in deeper into any of these, leave a comment below, let me know. And by the way, if you're looking to fix your resume, check out the link below on how to write an awesome resume. You can download that and use that for your own benefit. So starting off with the first tip for better listening is remove distractions. I see a lot of people when we're on calls, and I am guilty of that myself, where we're clicking, we're checking our email, some Slack message pops up, or we get bored and we just move on and start looking at something else. And that really hurts when it comes to active listening. We basically stop listening altogether to our customer, to our sales manager, to whoever it is. The best way to actually start listening well is to clean up our space, whether it's virtual or physical. Remove distractions, anything that can ping, anything that can ding, remove that, minimize all tabs, and just have that Zoom call open or that phone call open. If you're in person, don't even have your laptop up. Hands on the table and just listen. The second tip for better listening is to actually ask questions. If we don't understand something, there's a fear of asking questions, and that should not be a fear that exists. We're here to help whoever it is that we're talking to, whether it's my wife who needs me to listen and just listen about what's going on, and I need to understand, so I'm allowed to ask questions, whether it's my boss, whether it's my customer. If I'm not allowed to ask questions, it's not a true partnership, and we might as well end the relationship there. We have to be able to ask questions. And even if it feels dumb, even if you don't understand something, you can say like, hey, this is not something I'm good at, not something I understand, can you explain more? Or you can frame it whichever way you want to frame it. The big caveat I would add here is not thinking about the next question while the customer or whoever it is we're talking to is talking. It's okay to pause. It's okay to have a break between when they stop talking and when we start talking, just to think about what we want to ask. Because as soon as you start thinking about the next thing you want to say while they're talking, you just stop listening right there. Third tip is don't offer solutions right away. We're not there to solve a problem on day one. We're there to understand. And a lot of us SEs want to solve problems right away. We hear something and bam, we just offer a solution, but maybe that's not the real problem. Maybe they don't want a solution right now. Maybe they want you to understand their problem better. So you don't have to solution on day one. You don't, like on the first date. You can take your time and you can have discussions which leads to solutions, but we're not offering a solution on day one. And generally speaking, when we're talking about active listening, they're usually through discovery calls, or it's not as much for the demo, although when you're doing a demo, it's good to ask questions, it's good to hear their responses and listen to them, but we're focused more on the earlier calls in the sales cycle. Fourth tip is take lots of notes. I notice that if I don't take notes, I zone out. If I'm not actively doing something to help me with that conversation, I zone out. So I take copious amounts of notes, pages full, and as soon as I put my pen down to listen, I find myself not listening and zoning out. So keep the pen in your hand, take as many notes as possible. Fifth tip is make sure you repeat and summarize what that person said over a good chunk of time. One, part of active listening is actually making sure that they know that you're listening. And two, you want to make sure you're understanding what they're saying correctly. And the best way to know for sure is to repeat what they just said. I've done that multiple times where I repeat something that someone said based on my understanding, so it's paraphrased, and they tell me, no, I didn't say that, I said blah, 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 blah. And then, okay, they say that, and then I repeat it. All right, yeah, okay, now we got it. Or, no, we don't got it. Again, just to make sure that when we leave, there's no misunderstandings. And again, it shows that you're listening. Sixth tip, this is a little bit strange, but make sure you have a good night's sleep. So I've had 3 kids, and I have good night's sleeps on and off. And I noticed that as soon as I have a good night's sleep, the next day I can listen to anybody talking about anything. I can listen to someone counting sheep and then fall asleep. But that's different. But if I sleep well, and if you sleep well, you'll be able to concentrate better. You'll be able to have a better conversation. You'll be able to understand and comprehend better. You have more comprehensive skills. That's why I never pulled an all-nighter before an exam, because I would rather think the next day than try to remember, which never worked for me anyways. Number 7, practice. Active listening is something we can practice pretty much all the time. If you're watching a YouTube video, you can take notes. If you're talking to your significant other, your children, your parents, your siblings, you can take notes. Your friends, you can listen, repeat what they're saying. Make sure that you understand what they're saying. So it's not like basketball where you need a basketball court and a basketball rim, or at least one of those. It's actually something you can do at any point in time. Active listening is something we can practice all the time. And number 8, always follow up post-call with everything that you heard from that call. Everything. All the notes that you wrote down, make them nice, make them look pretty, but make sure you share them with the customer back, or with the account manager, whoever it is that you're talking to. Share it back so that if they come back and say, oh, you didn't hear me properly, you could say like, well, this is what you said in that meeting back when, or, oh, let me correct what I heard then, because there's obviously a misunderstanding. But always follow up. So these are 8 quick tips that you can start today to get better at listening, or active listening. And if you have any questions, make sure you comment below. If you like this video, share it, subscribe it, hit the like button for the algorithm, or at least that's what I'm told. And I will see you next time. Get back to work. Peace.